Welcome to the Philip Koerper Show. Doing a little video this time. This is episode 14, July 26th on a Thursday. I'm looking really forward to being with you guys today and to go over some things. Just got back from a vacation in the District of Columbia. It was wonderful. My favorite thing in Washington is the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknowns. That is such a reverent, special ceremony that makes me a little bit emotional, but to see the soldiers protecting the Tomb of the Unknowns, doing some research on how back like in World War I, they had 4 caskets that were draped with a flag, all identical, and they had a sergeant who was noted for valor and courage, and he put roses on one of the caskets of 4 soldiers who had passed, and they were unidentified. And he put roses on one, and so that casket was ceremonially returned back to the United States with an honor guard on a special ship with lots of reverence, and was placed in the Tomb of the Unknown. I need to follow up on my study on that because I vaguely remember that they did figure out through DNA analysis who that soldier was. But this tomb represents all of our soldiers who did not have a proper burial and respect. So I love how the Army Honor Guard watches out over the tomb and with that formality and with that Army decor 24/7. It's a wonderful thing in D.C. To see the Washington Monument, and I got to study the Korean Memorial and went into the Thomas Jefferson Memorial for the first time. I really enjoyed that. So don't really like all the largesse of Washington D.C., how big our federal government has gotten, but it's wonderful to look at the Washington Monument. Oh, and I got to tour the Capitol building for the first time. That was fascinating. To see the rotunda, and I had forgot that on the rotunda, the mural there depicts George Washington becoming a god. So anyhow, great statue of Ronald Reagan in there. It was fun to see a statue from Utah. Each state puts 2 statues there, and they can rotate them. They can pick any statues they want, I guess. So Mississippi has Jefferson Davis in there. Utah, they have Philo Farnsworth, the inventor of television, and Brigham Young, which is cool. And then in the National Portrait Gallery, I had fun. I had my picture taken in front of President, what's our previous president? Obama, that's right. Oh, I forgot. Trump is like erasing his legacy. I love how Andrew Klavan teases it like that. But picture of him in Poison Ivy or something like that. And on Facebook, I got some funny comments about careful about the poison ivy, or he's stuck in the weeds, and some funny things about that. I wanted to talk about Make America Great Again. And this is interesting that I didn't know this, that Ronald Reagan used this phrase, Make America Great Again. And so for Donald Trump, it looks like Roger Stone, who's one of his political advisors, during the 2012 race said, "Make America Great Again, Trump, Huckabee 2012, hashtag no Mormons." Okay, this is against Mitt Romney, I guess. And then Ronald Reagan liked that. And then he said, "We must make America great again." And so then there was a book in December 2011 with the subtitle "Make America Number One Again," which is in 2015 was reissued, Make America Great Again. And then Trump himself, so that was Roger Stone. And then Trump himself, after Barack Obama won his re-election against Mitt Romney, this is Wikipedia, he considered "We will make America great again. We will make America great," but he didn't like the ring to that. So Make America Great was his next name, but upon further reflection, he felt that it was a slight to America because it implied that America was never great. After selecting Make America Great Again, Trump immediately had an attorney register it. So they trademarked it. So I like that. I think that shows a lot about Trump, how he loves America, how he thinks America is great, and it used to be great, and then it can be made great again. Reflect upon the previous president, Obama. That's right. Remember how he wanted to change. His campaign slogan was something about change. It's kind of like he didn't like the way America is right now. He wants to change it. I mean, it's like, being married, and then after you get married, you want to change your marriage. Okay, it doesn't reflect highly upon the original idea of a couple getting married. And so I love how Donald Trump uses this slogan. I think it really depicts, what he ran on, his campaign promises. And it's so amazing that he is fulfilling his campaign promises. The border wall hasn't really been built totally, but it looks like quietly it is being built in California and stuff. I think there's a deal going between the Republicans and Democrats. The Democrats will fund some of the border wall, but the Republicans can't make a bunch of hay about it. And so anyhow, so I do really want a wall, especially on our southern border, so we can defend that border, and then hopefully we can do a much better job in changing our immigration system to make it more merit-based, and so we can have legal immigrants come into America, but that we can vet and screen these people. We can't have, it doesn't scale to have an open social welfare state, which we kind of have in some regards, and open borders. That won't work. Before, of course, when you came to America, when you immigrated here, you had to work, and you had to have a sponsor, and you had to work. I like to instill that now. Well, Donald Trump is just having a wonderful time, and Mike Pompeo. I mean, the goal of the senators, they wanted to talk to Mike Pompeo, and they're really still upset, especially Bob Corker, he is a Republican, but no fan of Donald Trump, was going after Mike Pompeo. And he said that he was talking about what Trump was saying in Helsinki, and saying that the White House had a ready, fire, aim approach and is waking up every morning making it up as they go by. And Bob Corker said that shocks people this is a Fox News article, to purposely cause the American people to misunderstand about the NATO contributions and cause them to doubt NATO. And then he goes on and on and on. And then he says it really, to drive the public opinion against NATO, that to me was purposeful, not unlike what happened right after Charlottesville. Oh boy. So Bob Corker's going berserk on this. And Corker goes on, why does he do those things? Is there some strategy behind creating doubt in U.S. senators' minds on both sides of the aisle, doubt in the American people as to what his motivations are? Is it the president's actions that create tremendous distrust in our nation among our allies? It's palpable. Is there a strategy to this? And then Pompeo responds that Trump had a direct role in the administration's aggressive actions against Russia. This administration is tougher than previous administrations on Putin. Which is so true. Obama was so soft on Putin. He even talked about how after the election with that open mic that he would be more flexible. The Secretary of State outlined a variety of measures taken by Trump's administration against Russia, including making lethal defense weapons available to the Ukraine, a move resisted by the Obama administration, and the expulsion of dozens of Russian operatives from the U.S. He also cited Trump's opposition to the planned Nord Stream 2 pipeline from Russia to Germany. I mean, this was huge. I can't overemphasize that Trump being so open about this pipeline. This is Russia. I mean, this is so critical for Russia that they sell this natural gas and oil. This is so critical for them because this is really the only resource that Russia has to sell, and they desperately need the money. I mean, their economy is 1/10 that of the United States. So Germany buying this oil, for Trump to go against that with such vigor. I mean, Vladimir is got to be furious over Trump doing that. I mean, this is like hitting Vladimir, in the knees, really cutting off this incredible amount of money that's going to flow from Germany into Russia to buy all this energy. And then Mark Pompeo says, Senator, I just disagree with most of what you just said there. Somehow there is the idea that this administration is free-floating. This is President Trump's administration. Make no mistake who's fully in charge of this and directing each of these activities that is causing Vladimir Putin to be in a very difficult place today. You are not responding to what I'm saying, Koerper responded. You just didn't, okay? And then Pompeo retorted, well, let the world decide. I love it. He added that NATO members have pledged to increase their share of defense spending, in part because of Trump's rhetoric. Oh, I love it. Oh, just slammed. Mike Pompeo just did an awesome job. I mean, just incredibly did great. He says, they are behaving differently today. There's no doubt about that. They are now scrambling to make sure that they are a full part of NATO. Koerper responded, I agree with that, but claimed that some of Trump's comments are damaging. Oh, okay. Guess who won? Mike Pompeo wins. Oh, that's great. And then Bob Menendez, oh my heavens, the senator from New Jersey who almost got thrown out, convicted of a crime, says, I understand the game that you're playing. And yeah, and then Pompeo says to Bob Menendez, I understand the game that you're playing, as the senator repeatedly pressed him to reveal what Trump and Putin discussed in their 2-hour conversation last week. I mean, give me a break. The senators want to know what Trump said in private with Putin. Oh, they want to grill his interpreter, that lady. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, good grief. The President of the United States is delegated to take care of these kind of foreign affairs. I mean, this is what we elected him to do, not the stupid Senate. Not like Ted Kennedy's over in Europe trying to undermine the presidency or an election. I mean, give me a break. Oh, this is great. So Trump wins big with this Mike Pompeo thing. Just huge. I think that was really good. And then this victory that Trump had on trade. Oh my heavens. You know, the media is not really talking about it. This is when you know that Trump does a really good job. And so Trump is just talking about, oh, tariffs, I love tariffs. You know, he's tweeting, I love tariffs and stuff. And then, you know, the EU head dude, whatever his name is, let's see. Oh my heavens, this is a Fox News article. Oh, I can't remember this guy's name. Here we go. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker. Okay, he comes scrambling across the pond, comes over here to kiss the ring of Trump. Oh, this is hilarious. You know, people forget that with these trade negotiations, that we don't really need the rest of the world on trade. I mean, yes, of course, we love our European cars and things like that, and our Cuban cigars or whatever, you know, our olive oil from Spain or wherever. The thing is that we are very self-reliant, even with oil and natural resources. We are richer with free trade. I'm a big free trade supporter. But things are not free and fair right now. Ever since World War II, we were all ramped up. Our industrial capacity was not attacked. We got attacked in Pearl Harbor. Otherwise, we were not attacked. And so we were in full production. It was the rest of the world was just decimated in tatters. And so we really tried to help them get back on their feet. Okay, they've had these tariffs in place ever since then. Unfair tariffs. And so Trump is trying to knock those tariffs down. How else is he supposed to do this without threatening tariffs against them? I mean, I see no other way. And so he's using what is available to him. You know, he's threatening with tariffs. He's adding tariffs, okay? And people like Ben Shapiro says that Trump loves tariffs. I disagree. And then even Trump tweeted recently, you know, I don't want tariffs. Okay, he's against tariffs. He's against subsidies of companies. Okay, he's totally against this. And then Trump says EU is a foe. Okay, I think the European Union as a foe, what they do to us on trade. You would think that the European Union, but you wouldn't think that of the European Union, but they're a foe. Okay, so Trump goes after the European Union. So what happens? Jean-Claude comes scrambling over here, okay, because the EU cannot suffer a trade war. Our economy is good. Rush Limbaugh was talking about this today. This is a good time to try to equalize and get rid of these tariffs. And the only way that we can get rid of these tariffs is to threaten higher tariffs on them. They will not be able to withstand it. China will not be able to withstand it. Europe will not be able to withstand it. We can weather the storm. We are the richest country on the earth. Okay. Also with China, you have got all these concerns about them trying to kill us. We got to be careful with Russia too. So if we make China economically super powerful, that could be a big problem for us. Their GDP could overtake ours. So anyhow, there's a lot to think about here, but I love how Trump does this. And so the EU guy comes over, and then they are kissing each other. When he gets over, he kisses Donald. And then Donald puts that on Instagram, that, hey, look, the EU, look, the head of the EU's kissing me, like, we're getting along really good right now. Okay, I love this. They're not our foe. And then the EU guy says, there's a tariff on soybeans, like China's not going to buy our soybeans. And then Donald says, oh, the EU guy says they're going to buy, the European Union, they're going to buy soybeans. They're gonna draw, yeah, oh, I love it. And then Donald's going, oh, this is really good for our Midwestern farmers, the soybeans are very important. So this is a big deal. Oh, I love it. I love how Donald really focuses on these group of Americans and really seems to really care about them. And that reminds me, I read an article about Otto Warmbier, and basically when Trump was finding out about this, right when he was made president, he acted like a father, and he just says, we got to get Otto back over here. We got to go get him. And so really this article from GQ was extremely amazing, talking about Donald Trump's passion to get Otto back like a father figure, really. And so really made those things, really went out on the limb to get Otto Warmbier back to the United States. Unfortunately, he was just so mistreated that he passed away soon after he got here. But this is the kind of passion that Donald Trump has. In Turkey, we got the same issue with the priest. Donald Trump's trying to get him back. So I love it. I love Americans. I think Americans really see this in Donald. I love it. And this is why they don't really care about this Michael Cohen thing. Michael Cohen, the former attorney for Donald Trump, really looks like a dirtbag. He recorded these conversations with Donald when they were trying to work out possible payments back to some Playboy models that Donald had been with. Of course, no one likes this. This is really seedy. This happened before Donald was being president. This is totally legal. This is really no big deal. John Edwards did this kind of thing with campaign money, and that was a hung jury, and then he was acquitted of that. So does this kind of money need to be reported with the Federal Commission, Federal Election Committee, or whatever it's called? It doesn't look like so. I guess we don't really know for sure. But anyhow, this is baked into the cake. We already knew that Donald Trump has been doing things like this. We know he bragged about being a playboy. This is kind of his shtick a little bit. And so this is a lot different than Bill Clinton having an intern in the Oval Office, having relationships with her while he's president, or JFK doing things like that. So anyhow, no one cares. The Trump supporters don't care about this. It looks like nothing criminal or illegal. The people who hate Trump are going to just jump on this like they always do. So anyhow, that is kind of that. So anyhow, I wanted just to close with how optimistic I am with Donald Trump. He's got 88% approval rate amongst Republicans right now. So I know the left is trying to dislodge us. There's 88% of Republicans are very pro-Trump and very supportive. I really think he's keeping his campaign promises. And so I'm not quite sure what the Democrats are going to try to do. They're trying to just disparage him and discredit him. But here in Eastern Kentucky, I haven't found one person yet who supported Donald Trump in the previous election and who's not supportive now. I don't think he's losing any of his base. I think that 88% number shows that. And his approval rate, I think, is up to 45%. So after this big Helsinki thing, which was just really nothing, I mean, if you follow Donald Trump with his tweets and everything, you know where his heart is. You know what he wants to do with Russia. He's trying to do some diplomacy with Russia, see if we can have a win-win. But yet he's very outspoken, and Mike Pompeo is very outspoken about Crimea. We're not going to recognize Russia taking over or annexing Crimea. We've given arms to the Ukrainians to defend against Russia. Intolerance and invading. So I just think things are looking really good. It was exciting in Georgia. I forgot the guy's name, but Donald Trump supported in the Republican primary for the governor of Georgia, the guy who won. And the polls beforehand were really against him. So you can see how a lot of these polls are being manipulated. A lot of Trump supporters still are a little bit cautious and being very open about support because guess what? We get mocked at. When I wear my Trump shirt, I mean, if I'm in a liberal area like Fayette County, Kentucky, 2 counties voted for HRC. Fayette County, which is Lexington, and Jefferson County, which is Louisville. The 2 big cities are very liberal. And when I wear my Trump shirt in those cities, people will just cuss me out, even if I'm with a family member. I mean, it's really amazing. But, these people, I guess, have no other really ideals to live life by. Government is going to be what they worship. And other people, or people who have a spiritual life, I mean, the government isn't everything. The government of God is. I want to leave that thought with you that I really do believe, I'm a person of faith, and believe that really God does love us. He's in charge. And so, yes, I love politics. I love debating politics and talking even about religion. But government is not my religion, okay? Donald Trump is not my savior, okay? He is the president of the United States. That's what we've elected him to do, to be president, but not to be the Pope or a prophet or even Jesus Christ. You guys have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. This is the Philip Koerper Show. I'm Philip Koerper, copyright 2018. Take care. Bye-bye.